Stay Active movement was initiated with a lot of research being done and finding a lot of gaps in the industry. And we have focused into three segments. One, the seniors. Okay, seniors. Second one, the family in which the senior is residing. And the third, the caregiver. Any one of the family members is a caregiver. So the dynamics between these three people are very crucial. These three sections are very crucial. So that is the reason why we have kept our movement as 40-75. The term 40-75 denotes the age. By the time you are 40, one of your parents would have crossed 60 or 65, right? So what happens is that the dynamics in the family totally changes. And that is the period when we find a lot of gaps happening in the family. The dynamics starts changing, the boundaries start coming down, somebody starts opening up, relationship issue comes in, the physical aspects also starts playing a major game. So that's the reason why we have targeted this segment of people in the age group of 40 to 75 who have a senior in their family, and the one of the family members is a caregiver for the senior. So all our programs are designed to touch upon these three aspects. So friends, that's the reason why we have today's topic. Akash, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jagan, and good evening, everyone. If you're able to hear me and if you're able to see me, can you please say yes on the chat box? If you're able to hear me and if you're able to see me, please say yes on the chat box. And you know, I know that I am at the right place with the right technology. Thank you very much, Jagan, for introducing me and introducing the Stay Active movement to all of you guys here. And I see a lot of names who are familiar. So if you've already, as Jagan said, this is our fifth webinar. So if you've already attended one of our webinars, if you know me or if you know Jagan, please wave your hand or please say hi. Hi to each and every one of you whom I know. And most importantly, hi to each and every one of you who has joined this for the first time, whom I can welcome to this webinar for the first time. Hi, Vijay. Hi, Sumati. Thank you. Johnson for the first time. Chandrasekhar, Swati, beautiful, beautiful. I know for some reason, Zoom is stopping my, you know, this, my fist to be shown. Hi, Muthulakshmi, first time, but I'll promise the next time will never be the first time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Muthulakshmi. Thank you, Suresh, Swati, Chandrasekhar, Subramaniam. So wonderful to see you all here. You know, my background, it shows as if I'm in California, but I'm not. I'm very much in Coimbatore. In fact, we are changing this time. Usually it used to be between 4 to 5 p.m. But this time, I mean, for the next 4 weeks, from this week onwards, we have decided to have between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. so that we experiment a new time and we see what happens. I you know, what do you think? Is the 4 to 5 p.m. better or is this better? What do you guys think? Let me know. What do you guys think? Is the 4 to 5 p.m. better or is this is this better? Please use your chat. I'd love to know. 9 p.m. is better. Okay, great. A few of you are saying 9. This time is better. Chandrasekhar, Suresh says this time is better. Experimentation is the whole life. So yes, 9 p.m. is better. Our relaxed time. True. Muthulakshmi. Yeah, but you know, one of the feedbacks that we got for all of you who are saying 9 p.m. Can you compete with Sun TV? Is the feedback we got, because there are a lot of serials that go on. We thought we'll take our chances. Thank you so very much for joining today. The next, I think we are about 9:10. Jagan, are we at 9:10? Yes, we are at 9:10.
Yes,
So for the
Akash.
next 50 minutes, I promise you that there is something that each and every one of us are going to learn. My promise to all of you. Yeah. So in fact, I'm not just going to stop with 5 life hacks. I'm also going to have a couple more. There's some surprise elements for all of you. So with that, let me begin. What do these words mean? So please make sure that you keep your fingers on the chat, because we're going to do a lot of talking. I mean, a lot of sharing of ideas. The first question that I have for all of you is, what do we mean? Before we go into why, what do we mean by respect? What do we mean by independence? And what do we mean by self-worth? In your own language, please feel free to share. In your own language, in your own words, please feel free to share. What do we mean by respect? What do we mean by independence? And what do we mean by self-worth? While you guys are thinking and you guys are sharing, let me tell you, respect means high regard for ourselves, right? That is what respect means. Holding somebody in high regard. It could be myself or it could be somebody else. Here we are talking about high regard for ourselves. That is what respect means. Having a happy, high standard, high regard. Oh wow, I respect him for the person who he is. Oh wow, you know, he's done he's lived a good life. I respect him for that. That's a high regard. That is what respect means. Independence means to be on your own. That is what independence means. Not the opposite of independence is actually dependence, right? Being dependent on somebody else. Needing somebody always besides us. Needing people to help us out is the opposite of independence. To be on our own is independence. India is an independent country in many ways. We produce our own food. In fact, we have surplus food that we many times even export to other countries. So we are on our own. The same way you should be on your own. That is what independence means. And self-worth means to have a sense of value. A sense of value means, what would you value, right? You would value something that is valuable. You would not value gold equivalent to silver. In our understanding of life, gold has a higher worth than silver, right? So self-worth means, what is the sense of value that we have for ourselves, to ourselves. So we need to get these understandings right. What do we mean by respect? What do we mean by independence? And what do we mean by self-worth? They are not the same. Respect means high regard. Independence means to be on our own. And self-worth means sense of value. Are we good until now? Any questions until now? Please use the chat, and please let me know if you have any questions until now. Are we good? Anybody who disagrees? No, Akash, I feel respect is something more than high regard, or independence is not what you say. It's something else in my definition. Please use the chat, and feel free to talk. Feel free to exchange ideas. Feel free to express yourselves, because that's what this community is all about. This community is a safe space for us to exchange ideas, for us to learn something that we want to learn, that we choose to learn. So this is what the respect, independence, and self-worth is. And in this tree of life, if you see, respect, independence, and self-worth, these three, by research, are the foundational elements. by research, these three are the foundational elements for our tree of life, right? So anything that is going to come out of our life is going to be dependent on the respect we have for ourselves, is going to be dependent on how independent we are, or how, what is the kind of independence that I feel. And in fact, let me not talk about life, but let me restrict it to our senior years, to or our elder years. And many times people feel, oh, senior, it's for the 65 and above, it is for the 70 and above, it's for the 75 and above. It's actually not the case. What we sow today, when we are 40, when we are 45, when we are 50, is what we are going to get fruits when we are 60, when we are 65, and when we are 70, right? And that's why, as my counterpart Jagan said, the SAM 4075 is between 40 years until 75 years. So our starting age is from, our community starts from the age of 40, because what you sow as seed when you are 40, when you are 45, when you are 50, is what you become when you're 60, when you're 65, when you're 70, when you're 75. And that doesn't mean that people who are in their 60s and 70s can't sow new seeds. There are different seeds that should be sown for them. So coming back to this, tree of life, respect, independence, and self-worth, and they are so important, so foundational, because anything that happens is beyond this. All of these, happiness, motivation, movement, body movement, physical movement, self-care, purpose, contribution, interaction, or energy. All of these 8 elements that control the various aspects of our life depend on these 3 foundational elements of respect, independence, and self-worth. And that is why I am not talking about having a seminar about happiness. I'm not talking about having a webinar about energy or about motivation, because we can't talk about happiness unless and until we don't respect ourselves. We don't give ourselves proper self-worth. We can't talk about happiness. We can't talk about purpose. We can't talk about interaction. So that's why these 3 are the foundational elements by research. I don't say this. It's not Akash or Jagan or Stay Active Movement which is talking about this. It is there in research, right? That these are the 3 elements which are very, very important, so that the remaining other elements take, roots, take their power from these 3 elements. And those 8 elements are what you're able to see on your screen. Now, tell me, can we go ahead and start looking at what should we be doing today to have better respect, to have better independence, and to have better self-worth? I'm sure you're waiting for all that. The first and foremost, right? And this is in no particular order, to be precise. I'm not saying that number 1 is better than number 5, or it is better than number 6, or it is better than number 7. No, right? And I talk about this particular aspect as number 1. And you may be wondering, have I come to this webinar? Sorry about that. And you may be wondering, have I come to this webinar for Akash to tell me that I should dress neatly and be presentable? That's not the only thing this webinar is going to talk about, right? But it is one of the very, very important aspects. And it's not about how we dress. It is about whom do we see in the mirror? What do you perceive when you see yourself in the mirror, right? And that's why when people are sad, they they don't look good, right? They don't maintain proper hygiene. and that reflects in the quality of their life. So can we be clean? Can we have decent, good attire? Can we have appropriate hygiene? My hair, the way I look, right? My nails. How do I take care of myself? You don't need fancy stuff. It All we need is for it to be simple and for it to be well kept. And many times people may think, does this really help? It actually helps. There was a very important research that was conducted by Harvard University, right? I'm sure all of you know. In this Harvard University, what they did is they blindfolded eight people, and everybody were given different kinds of perfumes, and they were told that this perfume costs $200. Four people, one group were told that their perfume costs anywhere between $200 to $500, and another set of group was told that their perfume costs somewhere between $10 to $20, right? And this research proved that people, and but everything was the same. All the perfume was the same. Just by people using, hearing that this perfume costs 200, costs 300, and costs $400, their self-worth about themselves increased. That showed up in confidence during conversations. During the interview, they recorded the interview, and they saw that the people who put up 10 and $15 perfumes had different body language than the people who put 200 and $300 perfumes, right? So this is what it all means when we say keep yourself neat and keep yourself presentable. It's not only for the others, but it is most importantly for yourself. I have been taught about this, the rule of 10. So you look at somebody from 10 feet apart, and then from 10 inches apart, and then 10 centimeters apart. There are different things that you perceive about the same person: 10 feet apart, 10 inches apart, and 10 centimeters apart. When they are 10 centimeters apart, you sense smell, right? Whether the person is smelling well or not. 10 inches apart, you can see what they're wearing very clearly. You can see how they look. Do they have the confidence? Do they have bright eyes? All of this you see when they're 10 inches apart. And 10 centimeters apart is how they keep themselves. What is their body language? How they walk, how they tilt their head, what kind of shoulders do they have, is all of this that you perceive when they are 10 feet apart, right? So that's so very important. Keeping ourselves neat and presentable is, though it's not the first in the order, but it is by far the most important aspect when we want to have better respect, when we want to have independence and self-worth. Number two is, and all of this matters, right? Standing. How would you, what would you feel if I talk like this? Can you guys see me? What would you feel if I talk like this? I am talking, but I'm not confidently talking. Can you see? I am leaning. I am leaning across. I don't have a good posture, right? Versus what I was doing all this while, versus my hand movements, versus the tone of my voice, versus my facial expressions, shoulders, body language. All of these convey power and confidence. Many times people, they would have had a position of authority, after they retire, they would lose that position of authority, right? Because of course you have retired. Instead of losing, only the position, they also lose the authority, right? But that's not so. Who you are is always you. That is never going to change. In my earlier webinars about the fears of retirement, and there was an example. I hope those who are attending again, who attended that, also remember Tangavel, right? Tangavel was so confident because he didn't identify himself with the title. Rather, he identified himself with his revised identity. So, authority, grace, expressing opinions with due thoughts, just not talking, right? Just not talking for the sake of talking, but rather expressing opinions appropriately is so very important. All of these make a very, very, very big impact. It shows who you are. It shows who you are inside. That is what comes out. The way you speak is who you are inside, right? I can talk like this to convey that I am a powerless person of less worth. I can have drooly eyes, and I don't think I'm even able to fake that. Right. So you can understand that it is important for us to stand tall, both shoulders broad, and to speak confidently. It doesn't matter to whom you are speaking. You are you. It doesn't matter to whom you are speaking. Speak with authority, speak with grace. Don't be rude, right? And that's why we need to ensure respect. Maybe you may be thinking, Akash, this is so simple. I expected something more complicated where you will say, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. Shall I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen? The biggest of the powers come from the very foundational of the things that we are supposed to do, right? If I am going to tell you that you should have a growth mindset, but if you don't take care of yourself well, if you don't have a confident body language or a posture, do you think you're going to have a growth mindset? You're never going to have a growth mindset, right? So that's why all of these are very important, and please be very attentive because the rest are also equally important. Walk with purpose. The third. You know what is walking with purpose? Walking with purpose is to exhibit that you have a strong body, because a strong body is also a strong mind. That's where we belong. We belong in our minds. And what is very strong? As much as our bodies are strong, our minds have to be stronger. It commands respect. Simple activities give profound impact. Simple activities, just not done once, whenever you wish. Simple activities, when done consistently, have extraordinary impact. There is significant research. You know, um, we call it executive functions. Okay. So what is executive functions? And that's something that we have learned being founders of Stay Active movement, where we have to work with seniors. Myself and Jagan, we have spent a lot of time trying to understand what is the science behind aging gracefully, right? And one of the things that we understood is a term called executive functions. The ability to make a decision is an executive function. The Whether I want red or black is an executive function. It is called as the ability to make a decision. Cognitive ability is called an executive function. The ability to move your hands and legs is called as an executive function. The ability to remember, what did I eat yesterday? Where did I go the day before? When was my daughter's birthday? What did I have? Where all we went? All of these are aspects of memory, which is one of the executive functions. So there are about 14, no, fundamentally 8 And then on an expansive slide, there are 14 executive functions. And maybe, Jagan, I'm just thinking one of the webinars we should do is also about, executive functions.
Sure, Akash. We'll plan on that.
Right? For all of these executive functions to happen, what is very essential is that we do certain things with consistency. Don't meditate just once. Meditate 5 minutes, or rather, yeah, there is research for that also, which says if it's enough, even if we meditate for 6 minutes, but meditate every day. Your breathing exercise, don't just do it once in a while. Breathing exercises, do it every day. Whatever yoga, if you are a yoga fan, yoga every day. Exercise, if you do exercises, if you do cardio, if you do strength training every day, jogging, light jogging every day. All of this is very, very, very essential, because this gives you a strong body, which gives you a strong mind. So when you walk, you walk with purpose. You don't walk feeling lost. Tell me, have you seen people who walk as if they're feeling lost? Have you noticed? If you actually look around, you will find people who will walk without a purpose. இங்க வேடிக்கை பார்ப்பாங்க, அங்க வேடிக்கை பார்ப்பாங்க, அங்க பார்ப்பாங்க, இங்க பார்ப்பாங்க, இப்படி நிப்பாங்க. They don't have a purpose, right? And that's shown in our body language. And that's why we say that a strong body is a strong mind. So if you take care of your body, it will take care of your mind. And this is very, very, very essential for independence. Independence, Indipendence. Friends, before I go to number 4, tell me, how many of you are above 40? How many of you are above 40? Please use the chat and tell me how many of you are above 40. Me? Okay. I have one person who's told above 40. What about the others? 40? 40? Okay. 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 Almost all of you are 40. Okay. Imagine Williams. I'll take the example of Williams because I spoke about Williams earlier. Who was there earlier? Sumati was there earlier, right? Sumati, you know Williams, right? You know Tangavel and you know Williams also. Suresh ji, were you there earlier? During the during the discussion about retirement, maybe you know. Yeah. So imagine somebody always helping Williams out. Imagine if you needed help to go to pee, if you needed help to go for potty, if you needed help to go and have your food, if you needed somebody to feed you, if you needed help for people to walk, if you needed just help to walk, how would you feel? Would you feel good? Tell me, all of you or most of you no, all of you are above 40. All of you are above 40, right? I yesterday was my daughter's birthday. She's just turned 3. And we had been to the temple. When we had been to the temple, I saw a lot of elderly people come. Most of these elderly people had help, which means they cannot walk on themselves. They cannot walk by themselves. I'm not telling that you should be able to come from your home all the way to a temple by yourself. No. What I'm saying is, can you walk without support? Do you need to be held for support? Right? And this is where we lose our independence, because we have to depend on somebody else. When we depend on somebody else, we automatically start feeling less worthy. We start having trust issues. Because we are unable to trust our own body, we don't trust anybody else. And there is where trust issues start. When we start becoming 60s and 70s and 80s. And that's, a downfall that we don't want, right? So all of it, for us to be independent, you should have one goal. India, again, this is something that I've seen by my own eyes, and it's also established that in the whole of Asia, India is the country that tops flyers on wheelchairs. Let me tell you once again, India is the country that tops flyers on wheelchairs. Do you know what it means? It means that every flight has a lot many people being bought on wheelchairs. It is not that they are handicapped. No, they are, they are, they can walk, but they just can't walk that long. They can't, climb up the stairs. They can't climb down the stairs. They can't hold their own bag. They can't walk continuously for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes. Put in chat if you know somebody like this. Put in chat if you know somebody like this who whom you have seen that they are not independent. Please use the chat. And that is what we want to avoid, right? And that's what this movement is all about. 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, you should be able to walk on your own. You should be able to do your stuff on your own. I'm not saying you should be able to jump on your own. May not be possible. But to walk on my own, to do my own stuff, to brush my own teeth, to eat my own food, to go from one place, one room to another, is all the independence that I must have, for which I need a strong body. And for that strong body, all of this is essential. All of this is essential. And this is not anything less. Moving forward to number 4. You know why God has given us 2 ears and only one mouth? You all know the answer, right? Because God wanted. I hope all of you believe in God. Hopefully. If you don't, it's okay. Just imagine, just think rationally why you have 2 ears and one mouth. And I respect everyone equally, whether you are an atheist or you are a believer. My respect is for you equally, right? 2 ears and one mouth is because we are designed to listen more than to speak more. Imagine, do you want to speak more or do you want to speak more? Do you want to speak meaningfully, right? Speaking more is of no use. Speaking meaningful is of great use. And that is where I love our Tamil comedian, the late Vivek. Yeah, we don't only appreciate his comedy for his comedy. We also appreciate his comedy because Adil, it will have a lot of karuthu. What, Jagan, what's karuthu in
Uh,
English? Meaning?
uh,
Meaning?
Insights,
Insights. Yeah, insights. Thank you.
meaning.
Yeah, insights or meaning, right? That's what his comedy used to have. My heart goes out to him for having passed away way much before time. And a lot of other comedians, I don't have to tell, who only do comedy, and there is no meaning, right? Many times when we age, we should also think, are we speaking to satisfy our ego or are we really contributing to the conversation? How many of you, and I would really love if you use the chat and tell me, think of that one person, and you don't have to put their name, okay? If you're thinking, say thinking, think of that one person whom you know who always wants to talk, not because they contribute something to the conversation, but they just want to satisfy their own ego. And we know people like that. What do you feel about them? You feel irritated, right? You don't feel good about them. Do we want to be those 15 years later, 20 years later? No, we don't want to be those. So let's train for ourselves to be, we don't need external validation. We don't need to contribute to a conversation if we have our own self-worth, right? I'll repeat what I'm saying, and this is very important. We don't need external contribution. When I have respect for myself, when I have better self-worth, I don't need external validation because all of that validation is internal, is within me, and I don't need external validation, right? Speak right, speak at the right place at the right time. If you contribute, let it be valuable. Otherwise, no problem. We've spoken for the whole of our life. This is our time to absorb, to listen. Friends, don't think this is the last. We still, I told you at the beginning, we also have a couple more because and the reason why we have more than what we always promise. I'm a guy who always under promises and over delivers. Or I don't know if it's right to say under promise, but I always like to deliver more because I value your time. All of you participants are spending 1 hour with us. I want you to take back 2 hours, 3 hours, or possibly even 5 hours worth of information back. Something that you can start using right now. Yeah. Once I finish 5, I'm going to ask all of you to use chat and answer one very important question. So be ready for the chat. So number 5 is set small daily goals. And you may think, Akash, you're now talking like a company. It's actually, that's the fault. We think that life is over when we retire. We may not think, okay, maybe a lot of people think. You may not, because you're here, which means you value what you want to do. Life never stops. Life never gets over, right? We need to design our own life, especially the life that we want to lead when we are 50 and above, right? So when you wake up in the morning, you should have a purpose. Why am I waking up? I'm waking up for my children. I'm waking up for my grandchildren. I'm waking up. Do you need external validation? That's the problem. We always we are so tuned to doing something, doing or leading our life for others that we've forgotten ourselves. Right? So the purpose should come from within. You should have a purpose. It could be your family, it could be yourself, it could be the community, it could be so many people around you. Take simple tasks like cleaning your room, cleaning your garden. I unfortunately my grandfather is no more. He passed away approximately 6 years ago. And for the last 1.5 years, he was truly very, very bedridden. Alzheimer's, he had Alzheimer's. And the last 3 months were horrible, were absolutely helpless state. And before that, when he was active, he would just wake up by 5:30 and he would go to the garden. One day he would do one part of the garden. Another day he would do another part of the garden. Another day he would do he would clean the rugs. Another day he would do something else. Another day he would remove everything from the cupboards, and he would rearrange or reorganize. I felt, and I have asked him by myself, and I'm, basically we are Maharashtrians settled in Coimbatore though. My dad came here in 1970s, and in Marathi, grandfathers are called Azoba. In Tamil, nama Tatan Kupuro illingla. So in Marathi we call them Azoba. And I would ask my tata, why are you doing all this? I mean, don't you want to take rest? Don't you want to just sit and relax? And then he would always tell me, no, you won't understand. When I started working with Jagan on this topic, that's when I truly started understanding why he's doing all of that. He would visit um, people next door. He would visit a friend. He would visit some old relative. He he would visit his students. He was actually an advocate, so he had a lot of law students whom he trained. He would visit their chambers. He would contribute. You could contribute. You could serve. Serve. And what do I mean by contribute? What do I mean by serve? Do you need to go enroll yourself in an NGO? No. You could serve just at your temple. You could just offer to help, during a social function, during a social cause. You could do all of that. You could help, you could learn, you could explore. All of this is possible, but we need a daily purpose, right? So decide whatever you want to do. This is so small. Even cleaning my own self, you know, what my again taking example closer to home. My grandma would sit and clean all the old vessels that she would use, 3 4 times in a month. But she did because not because she wanted to clean them, but I now know that they wanted a purpose to get up and make use of their time, because then they felt as if they have accomplished something. When you accomplish something, you feel worthy of yourself. நமக்கு என்ன தோணும்னா, பரவாயில்லையா, நான் இதெல்லாம் சப்கான்ஷியஸுங்க. இது நம்ம ப்ராசஸ் பண்ண மாட்டோம். பட் ஆல் ஆஃப் திஸ் இஸ் சப்கான்ஷியஸ். ஓ, நான் இது பண்ணிட்டேனே, பரவாயில்லையே. இட் கிவ்ஸ் அ பூஸ்ட் டு யோர் செல்ஃப். Number 6. This is okay. Sorry, sir. I there's supposed to be a question in between. Tell me which the one, the two, the three, the four, the five, which of it until now has been the most valuable to you? Please tell me. Which of the five that we have spoken until now has been the most valuable to you? Please use the chat and tell me what has been the most valuable. Has it been five? Has it been one? Suresh, thank you very much for saying five. Uh, Another Suresh also says five. Thank you, Suresh. Suresh for saying five. Thank you very much. What else? What else? What about others? Anand says three. Beautiful. I'm trying to wonder what three is. Okay, good, great, fantastic. Thank you for contributing
Uh,
and
Akash, I
sharing.
think we need to run the slides again so that we get the votes.
Okay, yeah, is it? Let me listen more is number 4. Walk with purpose is number 3. Stand tall and speak confidently is number 2. And keep yourself neat and presentable is number 1. Thank you, Jagan, for telling me that we should run the slides again. Um, People on the webinars, show me that you're there. Show me, tell me what has been your biggest learning. Was it number 1, which is keeping yourself neat and presentable, stand tall, walk with purpose, listen more, or to set small daily goals? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Priyala. Priyala says 3. Sandesh says 4. John, 1 to 5. Okay. Is that 1 to 5 or is it 1, 2, and 5? Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your contribution. Let's move on to the bonus. To have a strong social circle. And when I say a strong social circle, it doesn't mean a circle of gossip. It doesn't mean a circle where we can talk about what this fellow is doing and what that fellow is doing, and how, you know, things are happening in the world and all the negativities. No, a strong social circle is very, very important for us to uplift our mood, for us to produce uh, a hormone called endorphins. Right? Endorphins are is a hormone that is required for us to feel respected, right? And that's very important. Challenge yourself, of trying to meet somebody new, having a bigger social circle. Don't just stick always to the known ones. Engage in meaningful conversations, have intellectual discussions, right? Not just okay, this happened in my city, that is what he's doing, this is what she's doing. Not all of that alone, but also having intellectual discussions. And when I say intellectual discussions, intellect is subjective, right? So what my level of intellect may be different from Jagan's level of intellect. My level of intellect will be different from my brother's level of intellect, from my spouse's level of intellect. It need not be the same, but we can still have intellectual discussions. There is something which is called as, we agree to disagree, right? Just make sure that you don't make it taxing on others. So that's number 6, having a strong social circle. And very, very important. And this is something that I would love for all of you to absorb like a dry sponge, is to have a growth. You've heard a growth mindset. Yes, all of you have heard a growth mindset. Think like this, think like that, do this, do that, you'll have growth mindset, so on and so forth. But what I would say is, I would value a growth and a legacy mindset. And when I say legacy, what do I mean by legacy? Hey, you're living life, right? Create a legacy. Create a legacy for your children. Create a legacy for your grandchildren. Create a legacy for your great grandchildren. Don't look at whether they want or they don't want. That's none of your job to think whether they want or they don't, right? You do your responsibility. Remember, internal validation, not external validation. Document some of your most difficult phases in life. We have, Jagan, what is that exercise called? The life roadmap? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
life's roadmap.
Yes, the life's roadmap. And Jagan does these workshops, right? That's also something on the Stay Active movement, where we do workshops. And we'll definitely announce when we have when we start our workshops. Those are in-person physical events, and they're small, right? Just small groups of 5, 6, 7, stuff like that. So we do these life roadmap workshops. What have you accomplished? What were those moments where you were proud of yourself? What were those moments where you were not proud of yourself, and what you learned of those moments? Hey, you have lived for 40 years minimum on this call, right? All of you are 40. You've lived for 45, you've lived for 50. Somebody said 53, 58, 60, 70. Document what you have learned, how you have experienced life, right? Put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook. All people do is only take photographs and share. What about the legacy? What about those lives learning? Photographs are all about, say smile, and then we smile. The cheese is only for the photograph, right? But when you start documenting, when you start creating, you write letters to your future great grandchildren, in a hope that they may read it someday. you know if there is a piece of art that you want to pass on from one generation to another, to another, to another, so that they remember your family, your heritage, your culture. Do it. Plant a tree. Name the tree after you or probably after your family. Who will remember? That's not important. You do it for yourself is what's more important. What is going to happen in the future to that tree need not be speculated, right? At least until you're there, take care of the tree. God may find some other ways and means to take care of the rest, right? Learning never stops. That's how we can always have a growth mindset, that learning should never stop. And then we should always foster fresh ideas. Try a dish or two. No, don't make a mess in the kitchen, please. Don't do that. I hate my dad when he makes a mess in the kitchen, but he's learned not to do it now, right? So have open communication. Be open to fresh ideas. Travel, explore the world, and engage in slow travel. I love this example. Slow travel. Fast, everything is fast, 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 fast. Everything is fast. No, slow. Go slow. It is when you start going slow that you start noticing that there is greenery here, that there is bridge work going there, that there are butterflies there, that that bird is chirping. You'll hear those sounds. You'll start seeing something that you have not seen. You'll start noticing. You'll start smelling, right? And indulging in all of this is what makes our life a lot more fulfilling and a rich experience. That's what this growth and leadership mindset is all about. Did I take a lot of time? I hope not, Jagan.
Yeah, you're on
45,
time, Akash. You're on.
45 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, 9:56. We still got 4 more minutes to go.
Beautiful. Over to you, Jagan. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for the wonderful inputs, the 7 steps. And what I particularly liked was the rule of 10. Now I understand why my mother keeps telling me don't keep a beard, shave, have a clean shaven face. Now I understand what it is all about. Thank you. And our friends, like just a few minutes, and I've got something to share for you. Our mission at Stay Active 4075 Kovai is to make 1 million elders stay active and fulfilled, making their senior years among the best of their lives. So our mission is to make 1 million elders stay active and fulfilled, making their senior years among the best of their lives. And thank you for joining us on this wonderful journey. All of our SAM's online community and online events are 100% free. And there is no charge to anyone whatsoever. SAM offers premium workshops, experiential full-day events, and coaching programs, which of course are paid programs. Friends, all our online programs are totally free. Our community is free, your Q&As are free, and our sessions are free. Our in-person workshops and experience events and coaching programs are the ones which will be paid for. And in the chat box, we are just putting in our WhatsApp community link. You can just click and join this. In case you're not joined our community, where you will be getting information about our webinars, which are coming in the near future. And our next week's program is on the topic retirement worries. Here, the topic is retirement worries. Here's how to embrace the change. It happens on next Tuesday at 9 p.m. The floor is now open for Q&A. You can use the mic or chat. Akash, over to you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'd love to take questions. Yeah, Jagan always says, Akash, if your sessions don't have questions, it's either that you have convinced everybody about your ideas or you have confused everybody about your ideas. Please at least tell me, what have I done? Have I convinced or confused? I'd love to know I can report back to Jagan. Uh, he's always been a guiding force for many of us, including me. So, friends, what do you think? Is there something that you can have? And if you're not a part of our Stay Active movement, one of the other things that you can also do is leave your WhatsApp number on the chat. We could also add you. So that's also something that you could do. We could also add you. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm just reading some notes that have come. Siddhesh Kan Kandi Kandil. I hope
Kandil.
Siddhesh.
He's a rotator, by the way.
Oh wow,
Uh,
wonderful.
oh,
Siddesh. Hi, welcome, Rotractor. Myself, Jagan, we're all from the same community of Rotract, have been there. Siddesh, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for acknowledging that this is an awesome session. I love that comment. Siddesh, thank you. John says thank you for are you the John that I know, John? Are you the same John that I know, the naughty John? I don't know. No, means I have a friend by name John, and he told me he may join, so I'm asking if you're another John, please don't mind. Suresh, thank you.
It's me. It's
Thank you very
me.
much. Oh, it's you. Wonderful. So tell me, John, which was one of your favorites?
Slide number 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
5. What was
Setting little goals, day to day goals.
setting daily
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daily goals.
so profound.
And the best part is that learning in that point of time.
Yes,
Even though when we are getting old, we should learn. Keep on learning. Yeah.
it is learning never stops. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing,
Thank
John.
you.
You're the same
Thank
naughty
you.
John I know. Sacco, super thought. Thank you, Sacco. I believe all your points are great. Siddesh, thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else? What about our friend Sumati? Sumati, you haven't spoken much today, though. What about Muthu Lakshmi? This is the first time that you've attended one of our. This is the first time you're attending our webinar. What did you feel? We'd love to hear. Is this what you expected? Uh, what what can we see? Yes, good. Thank you, Muthulakshmi. The documenting, Sumati says, the documenting our ideas part was good. Yeah, beautiful, right? And in the olden days, that's why we had scrapbook. Remember when we were back in school, Jagan and everyone,
yes,
we
Akash.
had
Yeah.
scrapbook and all of that. We would cut photographs of people whom we know well, of certain events that happened in our life. Today there is so much influence of digital that sometimes we've just forgotten our roots of doing stuff. Thank you for bringing that up, Sumati. And great. How many of you are interested in knowing in attending? We have 11, and this is the last 30 seconds. How many of you are interested in our next week's session? If you are, please put your either join the community, or you can put your you can put your WhatsApp number so that we can come back. We can add you for the next session. The registration happens right here. Interested. Thank you, Johnson. Muthulakshmi says speak right. Speak right meaning I have spoken right I'm taking that in my advantage. Thank you, Muthulakshmi. Beautiful. Interested. Yes, we will make sure that we register you. Please pardon, I had to leave. No problem, Sujata. I'm glad that you were here all along. No problem at all. Okay, time to call it a wonderful webinar with a wonderful set of participants. Thank you so very much, Jagan. Let's pat
Yes.
ourselves on the back for a good initiative for whatever we are doing. and for being on our mission of making a difference to the community of elders.
And a big thanks to all the participants here today. Thanks a lot. Your presence makes a lot of difference to us and our energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. See you again next Tuesday, 9 p.m., for another awesome learning session with our community. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.